entering the atmosphere of Planet Zero. Scanning for signals. Incoming broadcast. Shift destination, CSS Page Journal. Begin transmission.
Hello. Do you like comics? Do you like dudes that read comics? Do you like
Or
when
gals.
people or pals? Then
I
you
said gals.
Oh, gals?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I fucked that up.
All kinds of friends.
Well, welcome to this is a podcast for you. Welcome.
It could be.
To Book Club on Planet Zero.
That's right. We are two interplanetary explorers
On Planet Zero, just
chronicling our weird niche interest that we took up on Earth.
comics.
Comics.
Oh, and manga.
Yeah, that's right. No, we're just two dudes who know each other and love these two things. And we want to spread that joy that we get out of this with you guys. If you're interested in comics, you haven't gotten into comics, this is going to be a good show for you, I think.
Yeah, I think it will be
If you've been reading comics for 30 years, 40 years, if you...
50 years, maybe.
Maybe, you
It's
know...
not for you.
Or you could listen along and make fun of us for how little we actually know.
Yeah, so I know we talk about our love of comics, but we should let you know right now, set those expectations low because we are not very knowledgeable, as the average comic book store goer, maybe.
I think I'm pretty knowledgeable in comics. And when it comes to Marvel, I read a lot of Marvel comics.
Yeah, I'm the manga guy. I got into manga before getting big into comics.
The manga man, some would say.
The manga man, but don't make that a thing though.
Okay.
I feel like
I won't make it a thing.
people are going to think I'm a weeaboo or whatever. Oh no, do you think that? Oh no.
You're the manga guy, man. That's all I'm
I'm
saying.
branching out. I'm reading some DC. I'm more of a DC guy than a Marvel guy. I want
You
to
got
put
me
that
into
out right
look,
there.
man. You got me into DC. I do like Batman.
Everyone
likes Batman. No, I got into DC with Tom King's Mr. Miracle because that is a goddamn masterpiece.
I got in through Tom King's Batman. Okay, this is also a Tom King mark podcast.
We're both Tom King marks. If we could get him on the cast, that's the goal.
That's the goal. This was our whole purpose.
Primary goal: get you guys into comic books, join along, read along with us.
Primary 2,
Primary number dose.
Objective 2, as you say.
Objective A1, if you will.
Objective A1 is getting you guys into the comics. Objective A2, point 1 is getting
Actually,
Tom King.
it would be Objective A 1.1 because Objective 1.0 is to get them into comics.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the update comes out
1.2 when we
1.1.2.
God. There's not that many goals with this podcast. There are 2 current goals though. And that's what we're reading on this book club. I am reading Eric's favorite.
My favorite manga series. He's going to be reading One Piece.
Yeah, which I'm currently in the middle of.
Yes, I mean, I'm not trying to flex, but I do own every up to date on One Piece, every 100 volumes physical copy. So yeah,
in the same 20-minute span, you were like, "I'm not a weeaboo," and then you were like, "Not to flex my manga
not to suck my own
collection.
dick or anything,
Not
but
to
I am
tip my own fedora and flap my own trench coat at this anime club." But
not to jerk my own chain here, buddy. But I am kind of an expert on manga.
I'm like a aficionado, if you will.
So I'm making Christian read a bunch of One Piece.
At this point, you're not making me. I've bugged you in the middle of the night to come pick One Piece chapters up from your home.
You did. You
didn't reply fast enough, so I fell asleep.
Sorry, I was gaming a little too hard. You know
That
how
makes
it
sense.
is. Sweating. My hands are stuck to the controller, kind of gaming. Yeah, Barbie's Horse Adventure does that to you.
What are you reading? That's my favorite.
I'm reading Christian's favorite Marvel hero of all time, or his favorite superhero of all time, Moon Knight, and I'm starting way in the beginning.
Yep.
His first initial appearances.
Which are great, and you love them. But we won't even talk about it because we'll get into it in episode 1.
Please watch
Stick
the
around.
podcast and
Listen to episode
our
1.
journey, because we already started reading some of it.
I think that's going to be a real cool thing with this podcast is that I think like fans of One Piece can come in and just like see my journey, what I talk about on my read throughs.
Yeah, and I feel like people who like comic books are gonna hate me because
A lot of complaints from you. It's minor spoilers for the
because you know
cast.
I'm a minor spoilers. It's
Minor spoilers. Eric hates it. I love it. What we've been assigned? No. No, Eric's still very early on.
I'm getting there.
Yeah. And, you're going to come to love Moon Knight.
I already like Moon Knight. It's just the way it's comics in the
boy.
70s are written.
That's
it's kind of
They get better.
good because I can
they
only
get way
I can only
better.
handle a single issue a day. I'm sorry.
Ooh. But yeah, man. How'd you get into manga?
Manga. So I was into anime as a wee little lad. That was the height of I think it was like a big anime boom around that time. They got Naruto
Like
and
early 2000s?
that early 2000s vibe
Yeah.
with Toonami.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, Naruto, One Piece, Bobobo, the Prince
Four
of
Kids.
the Prince of Tennis.
Yo, what?
You all know that. But anyway, I saw an ad in the magazine for a Bobobo manga and other mangas, but the Bobobo one that caught my attention. So I went to the store and I'm like, gonna get that, but they didn't have it. They just had the only other manga that I knew of was One Piece because I watched the anime too. So I was like, all right, I guess I'll get this, and I ended up really liking it because if you don't know, One Piece in the U.S. was heavily censored in the anime. Like they took out the blood, the swearing, a lot of fight scenes.
Mm-hmm.
They even took out the entire not Drum Kingdom, the Little Garden arc. They took out the whole Little Garden arc, so people don't know. Yeah, so it's all over the place. But the manga was really cool, and that's what
It's crazy how you went to a Barnes & Noble to get Bo.
Yeah, I ended up getting
And
One
you were
Piece.
like, I'll settle for One Piece.
I settled for One Piece, and ended up. It was the best decision of my life. I've been
Exactly.
hooked ever since I was a wee little lad.
I was playing Borderlands 1 on my Xbox 360, and my dad came home from work and threw a stack of comics. He didn't throw. He plopped down 15 Marvel comics.
He turned off your TV. He yanked the controller out of your hand. And
No,
threw
that
it
wasn't
on
it.
your
He was
lap.
like the newsstand is going out of business at the Navy Exchange, so these were all $1. And I was like, oh, that's cool.
Oh yes, the end of the newsstand era.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what got me into comics was the death of one of
Newsstand.
their distributors.
The popular way of getting comics is now dead.
Yeah. Now I just be reading.
Yeah,
I-
it's okay. We got
every-
comic book stores now.
Yeah, I think a cool thing about this podcast that one of our friends pointed out to me because we were talking about comics with him, and I mentioned the term trade, and he didn't know what trade was. And oftentimes I'll talk about my comic pull, and people will be like, "You're what?" And I'm like, "My pull," and I have to explain what a pull is.
And then you gotta explain
So I
what a
think it's-
comic push is too.
No,
Is that a term?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay, never
I'm
mind.
pretty sure it's not, but I think it's gonna be cool to help people out and get educated on some of these terms, especially for people who want to get into it, because I know it can be kind of like a.
It's a real daunting
it's,
pass.
It's
daunting.
daunting. It's intimidating, and unless you got super friendly staff at comic book stores,
Which I didn't at first.
you gotta
I got
find the right
intimidated.
store. You gotta find the right store, and you gotta bribe them.
Christian was all like, "Just get comic pull, Eric.
Just
It'll
go
be great.
get a comic pull, man.
It's gonna be easy. It's be simple." And I
Just
went
go-
up there,
just
and,
go
and
ask.
then the guy scared me, and I walked away.
Yeah. See, but if you knew what terms to use,
I didn't know the terms.
there you go.
See, I had to like,
It's like a secret thieves' cant that we use. In the comic store.
comic book readers have their own hidden language that we're gonna.
I'm gonna decipher for you. They're
We're
gonna
here
send
for you.
They're gonna send the assassins after me. A bunch of dudes in black trench coat with their sword replicas are gonna come for my head.
Hey, those guys are scary.
Those guys are scary.
You see how they swing their swords around in the parking lot?
Do they do that?
Yeah.
I knew a guy one time who had a bow staff, and he used to practice his bow staff on a middle school tennis during the summers. So sometimes I'd go to play soccer at the local middle school when it was closed, and then there'd just be a dude with a bow staff in the tennis courts just going ham.
That's awesome.
It was nuts.
I knew a guy who bought a sword at a convention, as a one-piece sword, It was a Law's sword, Trafalgar Law's sword. It's pretty iconic, and I told him you should read One Piece if you're gonna get that.
You're telling a
And
story
he said,
about me right now.
Tell a story about you, yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say I have Law's sword, and I'm really excited to get.
You got
to,
that like years ago.
Years
like,
ago.
And I was like, if you're gonna get that, you got to read One Piece. And you're
And
like,
I
you
was
know
like-
what, Eric, I will. And then
And it was I didn't lie to you because here we are, 5 years later, and I'm reading One Piece, and I'm
you
loving it.
got there, yeah.
I'm loving it.
He's loving it, guys. Spoiler alert: he's liking One Piece.
Spoiler alert! Yeah. Dude? Can we talk about the first manga you recommended to me real quick?
What was it?
Our boy Berserk.
Bazoik.
Berserk.
Berserkle jerk.
Guts.
Guts.
Our
That's
boy Guts.
I know that's
Big in the news. Kind of recently started getting continued again. You know.
lucky you.
I love Berserk so much.
Imagine all those fans who had to wait years for another chapter. Now,
And and I
then
finished
you
it,
got
and I'm
in.
like, when's the next chapter? And you guys were like 6 months from now, and I was like, oh, okay, that's. I'll just read something else, I guess. I don't know. That's fine.
yeah, but
Reading volume 40 though, and like it not having an end, I was like, dang. I was kind of looking forward to being like, I read Berserk in 2 months.
no, there's a
Like,
lot.
No,
There's
now
a
you
lot.
gotta wait 6 months to read the next chapter or volume. Because I just wait for the volume to come out, volume 41, which was just a lot of like spoilers. Griffith making a government.
I'm kind of like that. Like I used to be like, I'll read a manga series, and then once I have no more physical copies, I go online. But I don't like reading online on the phone.
I'm not a big digital fan. I understand the appeal to it.
It is easily accessible, yes, but
not sponsored, but I do have a subscription to Marvel Unlimited, which is like $10 a month. You get access to all of Marvel's back issues for the most part.
that's a good deal.
That's how I read all of what you're reading now, because you're reading it from the Omnibus form, so you have a physical book that you can read. Omnibus,
Yeah, big
it's
ass
a large,
textbook.
it's a giant collection of a lot of comics from the same series, character, event, or so on and so forth. But Eric's reading Moon Knight Omnibus Volume 1, and then once you're done with that, you'll get Volume 2. But I just read them on my phone or my computer.
Yeah, I tried doing that with like Berserk and Hunter x Hunter and like One Piece too, but it's just I don't know. I just reading it like not binging it manga is kind of weird, and it's not doesn't really grab onto me. But it is a good excuse to pick up other things though while I wait for the next big issue of I know Hunter x Hunter started doing chapters right now.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to touch that until like the next book comes out.
I don't want to touch that because you keep showing me pages of current Hunter x Hunter, and it's just walls of text, and I'm like, I'm not.
Yeah, the main villain
This
of
is
the
a man-
current Hunter x Hunter involves a math problem to figure out his
No,
move.
I'm not reading that. No way. I'm gonna read.
There's just pages where like there's just endless walls of text and like two faces.
Nah, I'll keep kicking it with like Sakamoto Days, which is about a fat ex-assassin who just wants to run a convenience store with his family.
I read that one.
You read what, 1 and 2?
I read 2.
You read 2?
It was all right.
Yeah. I feel like 1 and 2 don't do it justice because 1 and 2 makes it still feel like a gag manga, like The Way of the House Husband.
Yeah, but
it's
I
just
still-
like each one's a gag. They build.
I
There's
just feel like it's
characters.
I feel like it's just the same stick in all manga I read, which is like here's this organization of like a singular career, like in
Of
Sakamoto
assassins?
Days, it's all assassins,
Yeah.
and like Chainsaw Man, it's an organization of devil hunters,
Demon
hunters.
devil
And in
hunters.
My Hero, it's a whole organization of heroes. I don't know. Maybe I'm just salty, but
I mean, in One Piece, it's a whole organization of pirates or
it's different
Marines.
organizations. All right, you got Marines, you got pirates, and you got other pirates, and then you got eviler pirates.
Well, there's different organizations of devil hunters in because there's the public
well,
devil hunters.
I'm
and
still
there's-
on book 3,
you're
so
still on book 3. You haven't even dove in and dived
yeah,
into all that.
it's all right. But I do think manga.
love-
There's like a rule. There's like a 5 or 10 volume rule. And
Yeah.
I know it's a lot, but some stories don't pick up until.
One of the things I like about manga is I feel like I'm getting a lot more bang for my buck when I buy a manga volume versus when I like go spend $20 on a trade paperback from Marvel that has 5 issues.
Yeah, and then you gotta pay. And you gotta pay extra for that, like the cardboard and the wrapping that goes with it.
Oh well, that's a individual issue. That's a single issue.
Oh,
If those are more closely like a single issue of a comic book would be like reading a chapter of One Piece when it comes out online. Like that's what that would be. And then reading a trade or a collection of comics would be like reading a volume of manga because it's a collection of multiple chapters or issues that kind of tells a wider story, more long form. Modern day, because where you're at right now with Moon Knight, a lot of it's just like one and done storylines.
Yeah, it's
Like-
hard. It's hard for me to get engaged with Moon Knight when the stories are very.
It wraps up in the same book, and it almost feels a little.
I'm
rushed.
okay with that, but it's very bland. The writing, at least
It'll-
the conflicts in Moon Knight aren't that.
It's classic comic book.
It's classic. Like everything Moon Knight related is cool, but the actual like driven conflict, it's not that. Engaging.
You're reading this now, so that when you're reading the more engaging stuff later, the stakes will matter to you.
Okay.
That's what I'll tell you that right now. And that's why you're reading it. But we should definitely talk about Chainsaw Man.
Chainsaw Man. I don't know.
Not
I'm
right,
that far,
like-
I'm not that far into it, but I will keep you guys updated.
I'm caught up on it, so I'm interested to talk to you about Chainsaw Man as you read it.
Well, right now it's just kind of basic. Right now.
Yeah, no, I know that because you're only on volume 3.
Yeah, I'm
He
sure
what?
everyone says it gets better, but that's
No,
a lot of manga.
it gets better. It's
Oh,
only
yeah?
it's only 12 volumes right now.
well. Guess what?
What?
I'll hold you to that.
Okay, I want to read Vagabond. By the way, I mean to
Vagabond.
talk to you
Oh,
about
dude,
that.
I remember that.
I really want to read Vagabond.
I like how I keep giving Vagabond to people, and they're
Apparently-
and then they don't read it.
Apparently, it's all the on like all of the big viz are in stock on Amazon right now.
Ooh. Well, let me tell you something. Before you read Vagabond, you need to read the author's work before Vagabond. That's slam dunk.
I'll read. Actually, I want to read Yu Yu Hakusho because Yu Yu
No.
Hakusho just got a full reprint.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You know, is that a hot take? Is that a hot take? This is a hot take right now. I don't
that?
like the Yu Yu Hakusho anime, but I think that's because anime just is.
here's the thing: manga and anime. Yeah, they're the two sides of the same coin, but I feel like they're entirely different in terms of
Yeah.
like how you digest them and like how you like. I don't know, because like I'm watching One Piece and like I'm not really watching it, I'm like putting it
It's
on for
background for
background
you.
noise. So like I'll like come back to it and I'll like I'm on episode 24, and then the next day I'll go to put it on and it's like episode 50. I'm like god, I wonder how far like along they got. Like they must be close to catching up to where I'm at because I think I'm on like volume 25 right now. Like they must be close to catching up to where I'm at, and it's like no, they're nowhere near where you are.
There's
In
a lot of
fact,
filler in the beginning.
there's a lot of filler, and also like the way that it's paced, right? So like in manga, when Luffy does a gum spear,
It's like a single
it's
panel.
a single panel. I take 2 seconds. I go, yeah, he kicked the shit out of him just there, and then I move on. But in the manga or
that's-
in the anime, it's like 45 seconds of
See,
them.
that's the thing. My brain doesn't work like that. I can't just put something on the background. If I watch something, I got to be fully paying attention to it because I don't like missing information or whatever.
Yeah.
So when I'm watching an anime like One Piece or Yu Yu Hakusho, where like there's a lot of padding, how you say, where scenes are just drawn out, got to get every character's reaction, especially if it's a big ensemble cast. Everybody needs a frame to see how they feeling. But I'm sure the manga of Yu Yu Hakusho is better than that. Like you said, the
That's what I'm
pacing
saying.
is
Like
different.
you just kind of like instead of like showing a crowd and like panning for a full minute of them being like, whoa,
There's a full
look at that
picture.
move.
It's, like,
It's
right
just
there.
a picture, and it's like,
It's all there for
yeah,
you.
I'll just move on. I'll just move on.
No,
from
you gotta
that.
like analyze each panel, man. You gotta like dissect the artist or some shit. Never mind. Do whatever you want.
No, I'm just gonna read it real
I'm just gonna-
fast. And then
Nah, I just
forget
like the-
specific details.
I just
and-
like the
I did-
pictures.
I like the pictures and the action, and I can't do.
I like it when Batman punches that guy.
Oh, so you like how I made your favorite superhero a heroin-addicted jazz musician who isn't really radioactive?
Nah, I just like how you make him punch things.
Hell yeah, Simpsons reference. Bam, in the books.
Oh shit! What were we talking about before?
You asked me today, Doctor Doom or Magneto, which I chewed on for a little too long.
Yeah, you're a big Magneto mark.
No, Magneto is the correct answer in that, and I'll fight anyone who says any different. All right, look, man, this is where my like Marvel knowledge comes in because Doctor Doom technically is the guy who was prophesized to save the entire universe.
What? Him?
Yeah.
I don't believe that.
No, he is.
I don't submit to that. He ain't my savior. He's the mutant savior, not my savior.
Doctor Doom, not
Doctor
Magneto.
Doom. Oh, sorry, I get
Yeah.
those mixed up.
Wow, how?
I'm sorry because we're both talking about the same person, two different people, and I don't know. I thought you
Magneto,
mentioned
Magneto's cool. He's a freedom fighter for his people. Doctor Doom is a literal dictator because he believes a higher power designated him to be the savior of all mankind, and he's not entirely wrong.
Yeah, that higher power gave him a doctorate apparently.
Yeah. What?
He's a doctor?
No, that's not what gave him a doctorate.
I'm a doctor.
Hey,
Was he a scientist
The
before?
Beyonders said that it's only me who could. Yeah, he was. He went to college with Reed. He was Reed Richards' college dorm mate.
Because we made a joke earlier that a lot of magician or magic users in comics have the word doctor.
It was Doctor Fate, Doctor Strange,
And Doctor Occult. I told you
Doctor
about that guy.
Occult. There's Doctor Druid.
Dr. Druid.
There's
I'm pretty sure there's one or two others, but you guys get what I'm talking about.
Doctor Voodoo.
Dr. Voodoo.
He's a doctor.
I don't know.
Jericho Drum. Oh, Jericho Drum, baby. He has the strength of 2 men.
That's all?
Yeah, him and his dead brother.
Oh, it's the power of his dead brother.
His dead brother is a ghost who hangs out with him, and
So whenever he needs
they
the
can
strength.
combine, and then he has the power of 2 men. I'm saying it specifically like that because you're in that part of Moon Knight where he starts making like his cast of. So like, you know how like Batman, right? Has like
I like Batman.
I like Batman. You know how he has like a cast of characters outside of his operating kind of like
Yeah.
area that he hangs out with on the regular, but like maybe Batman's a bad example because basically everyone who Batman hangs out with eventually becomes a part of the Bat family cult.
Don't call it a cult. It's a family.
It's kind of a cult. It's kind of a cult. Batman's kind of a cult leader.
No, kinda. Listen, it's a
Kind
good
of.
cult. It's a good cult.
It's a cult. It's a cult for the greater good.
Like veganism. It's a good cult.
Veganism isn't a cult, I don't think.
Probably not.
I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think so. No, so like he's in that era where like he's gonna start hanging out with specific characters more and more often.
I'm at that part actually.
Yeah, like because he's gonna meet Doctor Voodoo.
Dr. Voodoo.
Yeah, and then later Doctor Voodoo comes back, and he's like, "What do you want?" He's like, "Why are we buds?" And then he's like, "Yep,
Yeah,
Moon Knight, we're buds." Because
You're part of the Moon Knight family.
I came
what?
to- I came
didn't
to-
sign up for this.
I came to New York City looking for help with this thing, and New York City, the most densely populated area of superheroes, I went and found you.
I know, right? It's like, why do crime in New York City when there's a bunch of superheroes there?
I would simply not.
Yeah, you got like Daredevil and Spider-Man and Luke Man and Jessica Girl.
Power Man. Luke Cage's name is Power Man.
Yeah, Luke Man.
Lukewarm Man.
Should we talk about the comics we're reading right now?
What comics are you reading right
I'm
now?
reading Swamp Thing,
'Cause
like the
I'm-
original Alan Moore.
Not gonna lie to you, I'm just reading One Piece.
Just
That's
reading-
not true. That's not true. I read Sakamoto Days the other day. I also, I actually finally. Did you finish Zom 100 number 8?
Yeah, I finished at the moment I got it.
That's a manga that I'm going to throw out as a recommendation.
Zom 100.
It's
Here
so
we go.
good. I'm not a big zombie guy. You know that. You're a,
And here's me, a big zombie
you're a
guy.
giant. I got burned out after like season 4 of The Walking Dead. Like I was like, no more
Really?
zombie. Yeah, no.
That was a
literally.
good season.
I know, but
Actually,
I
no, the first half was
I think
poo-poo.
season 5 maybe. Then I don't know. I got burned out of zombie stuff because there was just an oversaturation of zombie media.
Yeah, there was.
And I was
I'm
just
not
like,
gonna lie.
I hate this.
Yeah, I was into zombies before Walking Dead made
Yeah.
it cool.
But like, Zom 100 came out, and it's about this 23-year-old dude who hates his job, and
He's an
goes-
office worker. He's a slave worker. pretty much.
he's a wage slave, is what he calls
that's
himself.
that's what I was gonna say.
Because in the current book, that one dude is like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "A former wage slave," and he saves his friends.
It's-
But the zombie apocalypse starts, and his first thought is, "Oh no, I'm gonna be late for work."
But then he's like, wait a
And then his
minute,
second thought is, "Oh shit,
I don't gotta go to work.
I got to go to work. I finally have free time," and he just exists in this pure euphoria.
It is a
not
pow-
having any kind of fucking responsibility other than surviving the zombie
Yeah,
apocalypse.
it pretty much is like a power fantasy story where like, what would you do
yeah,
with if the world ended and you can do whatever you want? But it's also it's a power fantasy. It's kind of a comedy, but it's also has
It's got some
drama.
It's got
to
some
it.
Nakama in it.
It got some Nakama moments too. That's what I like.
I like how
in
his
my
best
Sami
friend.
stories.
I like how his best friend always ends up naked. Like when he had the dinosaur suit on and he was like running from the zombies and they start grabbing his tail and shit and he's like, no! And then they ripped it off and he was fully nude.
Of course, you'd find that funny.
Well, that's his whole shtick. He's
That's
like, I want to be a stand-up comedian.
And
And then Akira's like, well, okay, well,
apparently in Japanese comedy, being naked is funny.
I think it's. I
think it's alright. You know, I'm not
remember
gonna
when
lie.
remember when he dove into that sewage system?
He was all
He's
censored out.
He's covered in fucking raw sewage,
Yeah,
so the zombies weren't bothering
his
him.
whole body is censored except for his face. It's all pixelated.
Jesus, I love
But
that.
and there's also a character that they put in
Hannah,
by us.
who's
B.
that?
B.
Bay,
Bay
that's
or
us.
whatever. There's a German college girl in Japan who
transfer student from Germany, and she loves
is a big weeaboo and
she's
wears like
I
samurai
love
armor.
Nippon.
I like how the main character is all like, "Hey, I like Nippon too. you want to go on all you can eat sushi thing?"
In the middle of a zombie apocalypse.
Oh, we should also mention that we didn't mention that in this story he has a bucket list. That's the whole part of the story.
Well, it's called, I was going to mention that it's called Zom 100, but it's called
Bucket List of the
Bucket
Dead.
List of the Dead is I guess the arc if it's going to be that, but I
So-
feel like it's never going to go anywhere. It's just going to stay the thing that they do.
You think?
I like the one where he gets stuck in the newsstand and he's bored.
Yeah, he takes a moment to just relax.
He gets so bored he starts reading philosophy books, and all the philosophy books are
They
like,
start
boredom is a man's worst enemy.
The
Truly, the worst thing a man could be is fully rested. Like,
the philosophers. He starts seeing the philosophers in the zombies, and they're talking back to him.
he starts having debates, and he's like, "You're right. I should just vibe. I should just take some time to relax."
He would
and
ask
be
them
bored."
questions, and then they just be like, and he'd be like, "All right, next guy,"
Yeah, and then the zombies just all conveniently just left after that, like
because he took a moment to like sleep.
Yeah, he just chilled, and they were like, "Oh, this guy's boring." It's the worst human zoo I've ever been to. That's what I say sometimes when I go into malls that are run down.
Don't say that. That's sad. It's like a skeleton of human culture.
There's not even any humans in this human zoo. Just the security guards. What else? So you're reading Swamp Thing?
Swamp Thing.
I
And
like
John
that-
Constantine.
What was that one thing that happened in Swamp Thing you told me about where he went to hell?
Yeah, he defeated his arch nemesis, Anton Arcane, this powerful magician, and and then whatever. Spoiler alert: Anton kills his girlfriend Abigail, which is also Anton's niece, but he doesn't care. So he kills his girlfriend, and the whole next chapter after defeating him, next story arc is Swamp Thing trying to get his girlfriend back from hell, because that's where Anton sent her.
Yeah.
So he's like walking in hell with Etrigan, and
That's
they
our
see
boy.
a very I see Anton all deformed and like grossed and like being tortured, and he's all like,
he's been there for a while.
yeah, he's like, Swamp Thing, how long has it been since our last battle? And Swamp Thing was like, it was yesterday. And then Anton's like, yesterday. Ah! They just walk away with him screaming.
I just like the idea of just being like, I've endured centuries of torture, Swamp Thing.
Since I killed your girlfriend.
How long have you been mourning the death of your loved one? And Swamp Thing's just like, oh, that was yesterday. and I'm here to get her back. So I'm undoing that as well. You said a millennia of torture. Arcane's like,
dude, we just fought like not too long ago. That's
hey, Arcane, I hate to tell you this. I just sent you here. Like, you just got here.
oh man, Swamp Thing's good.
Yeah, I need to pick up. I was reading Doom Patrol, but then I put it down because
Dude, pick it back up.
I need to pick it back.
Do you remember where you left it?
No.
Because you put it down somewhere.
Yeah, I have no clue.
Oh,
It's like my sunglasses.
that's right.
why-
I think the creature has it.
The creature might have gotten them.
Is this a perfect time to bring up the creature from Planet Zero?
Oh, we should let you guys know a little bit about Planet Zero.
It's a desolate planet.
It's a desolate planet where no one is, and that's why we
not
record.
cool.
Well, there's a few things here.
That's why it's so cheap to record here, because it's so desolate.
That's
and,
right.
Doesn't even have a name.
We just have to worry about the creature, who honestly not that bad of a guy. Pretty nice guy.
Yeah, you say that until you get ooze all over your couch.
He does.
Like
He does
plasmic
ooze.
ooze.
He does
That melts
ooze.
into the leather, dude.
Yep. So there's the creature, there's the train, and then there's the lady who lives
Yeah,
upstairs.
there's a lady on the top floor who
Watches soap operas.
always watches soap operas. We never met her in
It's
person.
like how we go to Earth and you find comic books, and then I guess she goes to Earth and like watches like
She rents the upstairs of this
she
building.
finds soap operas and listens to him here. And then there's the train, which presumably has a conductor, but we're unsure. You guys will hear all about Planet Zero
As we continue on
as
our
we
journey.
continue to explore it.
Still nothing. we
Still
did a
not a lot
patrol.
of
We did a
stuff.
patrol not too long ago. Still nothing here. We'll find something.
Good reading nook.
Yeah,
Great
it's
planet to do some reading.
nice and quiet, except for that fucking train.
And the soap operas every once in a while.
Well, you kind of get into it when you listen to it.
Yeah, they are pretty. That's why
You know
it's
what's crazy?
distracting.
We try to do this podcast when she's not around to get the less amount of like interference as possible. But we
I
try to
think
get
she
her
stakes-
schedule
I
down.
think she stakes the building out. I think that's what she's doing. A stake.
She watches at the building. She watches the
She's
building
on the
until
corner.
until we come by, and then she comes in right after us just to be annoying. God, I hope she doesn't hear this.
I hope she does. I hope so many people hear this and decide to continue to listen to the next episodes or so. Yeah.
What's that? About 30 minutes.
Oh.
Okay, we still got.
We got
time.
plenty of time.
We got more hot takes to talk about.
Do we have
Let's-
more hot takes to
Let's talk about Black Adam.
You want to
man.
talk? I don't want to talk about this movie.
You're the guy who watched it 3 times.
I don't. Yeah, twice
let's-
against my will.
So, and I watched it twice.
I've
so-
dedicated damn near 9 hours
of your life
to The
Black
Rock's
Adam.
worst performance.
Stop that.
He did bad. He did a bad job in that movie.
He did bad, but
He did
Yeah.
bad. He did a bad job. He butchered that movie.
honestly, I feel like okay. So
It should have
my,
just been a
my,
Justice Society of America movie.
my hot take is that despite all these people hating on this movie, I still really like the movie, and I don't know. That's because I'm not a Black Adam fan. Just because I don't know.
I'm not a Black Adam
I don't know
fan.
much about Black Adam, so I went on this like blindly.
I'm just a fan of good movies. That
No, it was a good movie. It was funny. You laughed at it, at the jokes.
yeah.
The action scenes were awesome, dude. Dude,
action scenes were good.
Hawkman, dude, and Doctor Fate, and I'm sorry. I was to call him Atomic Cruncher, the Atom Cruncher or whatever.
Adam Crusher.
Adam Cruncher.
Atom Smasher.
I know I said that wrong. And Cyclone Girl. I don't know about her, but
I don't know about her.
that's the first time I heard about that hero.
Nah, she's part of the Justice Society.
No, I think a Black Adam movie was perfect.
It was
My
20.
only-
It was 20 minutes of exposition at the top.
my-
Narrated.
Well, look, man. My only problem with
me.
that, my biggest problem with that movie is that they did get The Rock to play Black Adam. They should have gotten got an actor that's more into comics that really wanted to dedicate themselves to the character. Like
Also, The Rock, in his contract, he can't lose fights. He can't.
How's
lose
he
a fight
gonna
on
fight
screen.
Shazam, dude? That's so
what I'm
stupid. And then when The Rock, did you hear about this? The Rock was given an opportunity to cameo in the next Shazam movie, and he declined outright. What the fuck?
Forget the podcast. It's a Rock hate podcast.
No, well, hold
We're
on.
the
I-
anti-marks of Rock.
I still think he did good in some movies, and
No,
I
the
do
thing is
think he's
like
a drama queen. Yeah,
he's like a movie star. Like he that wasn't The Rock as Black Adam. That was The Rock doing a superhero movie because he wanted to do a
Yeah.
superhero movie.
he wanted to do a superhero movie, but he couldn't commit.
Committed to being himself.
Yeah, you can't. I don't know. He could have done better if he was, a better actor.
Did he just catch a rocket?
Huh?
What?
Yeah, he did. He caught a rocket. Remember?
Stupid.
He put it in.
Why couldn't he just
put it-
fix when he got hit with the rocket and he immediately got the wound? Why couldn't he fix the wound right then and there?
'Cause he got-
Why did
he
he have
got
to
knocked
fly
out.
off?
He got knocked out.
he made because he saw that he got hit and then he was like, "I'm going to fly away now," and he tried to fly away
'Cause he
And
got-
then
yeah.
because he overexerted himself.
'Cause
And then when
he
he,
wa-
wo-
he
and then when
ran
he
out of
woke up in the
HP.
kids, he could have done the thing that he did when he woke up before he even decided to fly away,
Listen, man.
so that he healed himself because he fully healed himself.
Listen, man, a cut hurts when you first get it. But after a while, it doesn't hurt, right?
I don't know, man. That movie
Listen, man,
just-
you're. I feel like you're nitpicking this too much, man.
I'm
it's
not
just
nitpicking. It's not a good.
you
movie.
are picking.
It's
You're
way
picking at
too long.
things. It's not long.
way
I think.
too long.
Okay, yeah.
They
there
tell
scenes.
the
There are scenes that are a little too long. Yeah, I'll
They
give you
tell
that.
the origin story in the beginning, and then through the movie, they retell you the origin story, but fixing the details.
Yeah.
They could have just not told me the origin story in the beginning of the movie and wasted 20 minutes of my time with narration. It's a waste of my time.
No, there's a
as
big
moviegoer.
twist. The big twist is that he wasn't the original Black Adam.
The big twist is that they killed the guy, and then that's what he wanted. That's the big twist.
Who wanted it?
The guy who died and became Sabak. Remember? When they got the crown and they killed the bad guy,
Yeah,
and they were like,
he
"Oh, we
wanted
did it.
to
We got
die.
the crown." But what did he mean? Death is the only path to life.
Yeah, 'cause they
There
mistranslated
doesn't need to be multiple twists in this movie. It's not that deep. It's a movie about people in colorful outfits
Guess
throwing
what?
special effects at each other.
Well, guess what? I wasn't.
And that was the best
I
part of the
followed
movie.
It pretty well. I mean, except
I wasn't lost.
That
I
first
just-
part, I was confused. Like, why the hell did he?
We just don't need-
unlock the shield. Remember
What?
when he's about to kill the kid? And he had that barrier between him and Black Adam that Black Adam can't go. And then right before he shoots the kid, he unlocks the gate. And it's like, and then he gets defeated. And like, hey, what's the point? Why did he do that?
Because he wanted to die.
Yeah, then you found out later he wanted to die.
That's the.
And
We
then-
didn't
and
need
that
20 minutes
caused-
of exposition for them to change that exposition later. It's dumb. It's dumb.
I do want to say, okay, I know I'm defending this movie, but I will say I'm not saying this is a good movie. I'm just saying that
You
it's
like you
not
can
as
no you
bad.
can like that movie.
I just feel like people
it's fun.
keep
It's the same
people
way
keep
when
saying it's like the worst DC movie ever, but
I
there's
wouldn't-
like so many other DC movies I can. just
there's a
point
lot of
out.
bad DC movies,
But I just
They're
feel like people give it too
they
much shit,
haven't been
and
doing good at making movies, except for
they're not-
the Batman.
No, Aquaman,
Amazing.
the Batman, Aquaman, Shazam,
Aquaman, I have the
Wonder
same
Woman,
problems.
dude.
I have the same problems.
The Suicide Squad,
Any,
James Gunn.
any DC
version.
movie that starts with 10 to 30 minutes of just pure exposition vomit that
Oh,
I don't need.
I feel like, yeah, DC movies
I
do
don't
that,
need
but
it.
I feel like
there was 20 minutes of like, this is the tale of the boy from two worlds, and they tell you like Aquaman's legend, and then
and then right after that-
and then right after that, he's kicking ass on some kind of like pirate ship.
Why not
But
just start with that?
Why not just start with the fucking pirate shit, man? It was shirtless Jason Momoa fucking dudes up. That's what I came here to see. That's what I want. I get who Aquaman is. He's a guy with a fish fetish. Fine.
yeah,
Have you watched The Boys?
no.
You got to watch The Boys, dude.
I don't want to watch any. You're like the fourth person who told me to watch it. I think that's my limit of like, I don't think I should watch it. I don't watch anything that's popular. That's a
I'm just gonna let
caution.
that one. Yeah, I'm just gonna let that one sit. I'm just gonna allow that one to hang in the air for a second.
If I
You
haven't
should
heard
watch
about
The
it, it's
Boys.
not good.
You've heard about it 4 times. You
Yeah, but
just
I
said
didn't
4
disco-
people
Yeah, but
told
I
you to
didn't
go.
discover it. Anything that's mainstream isn't cool.
I'm gonna
Haven't you
sneak
heard?
into your house and turn The Boys on your living room TV when you're not paying attention, and so when you walk back in the room, it's just on, and you think that I'm gonna make you Christopher Columbus The Boys. I'm gonna make you think you discovered it. You're gonna come to me. You're gonna be like, "Hey, you should hear about this thing called The Boys. It's a great TV show." I'll go, "Yeah, Eric told me all about
I
it."
don't know. It's kind of hard for me to get into like TV shows about superheroes.
No, you'll like this one because it subverts.
Because I had this problem with My Hero Academia, the second season of One Punch Man, where they introduce they just give you a bunch of characters with superpowers and like rapidly, and they want me to get invested in this world. And
That's not what The Boys does. And also, you just named 2 animes, which is you can't.
oh, Invincible.
Anime.
It's not an anime.
Anime.
It's not an anime.
It's an
I
American.
think I know a thing or two about anime, Christian. I am the manga guy, you know.
So again, in the last hour, you were like, "I'm not a weeb." You think people think I'm a weeb? And you're like, "I'm the anime expert, manga man."
Well, I'm trying to flex, you know. I'm trying
Manga
to look
man's
cool.
gonna stick now.
Please don't. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Black Adam's cool. Do you remember that scene where he escapes prison?
Dr. Fate is the best part of that movie.
He's
yeah,
escaping-
the prison,
he's escaping prison,
the
and, like,
prison they
he's-
put him in because he was too strong, and then they put him there, and they were like, "Oh no, a guy who we can't fight. Maybe we should get the guy who's too strong, who honestly wasn't really that big of a threat."
Who? Wait, sorry.
Black Adam.
Yeah.
He wasn't He wasn't that big of a problem.
Well, they're making it seem like a big deal.
Amanda Waller was like, "Oh, this guy can shoot lightning from his fingertips. Somebody get out there and go put him
They
in
say he's
prison
a
jail."
demigod that destroyed an entire country, and disappeared off the face of the world, yeah, they got to be alert with this guy.
Yeah, but once they started interacting with him and they saw that he was the hero of that small country.
Yeah, but I think it's like a good commentary on how U.S. soldiers.
Yeah,
go
I
over-
also don't like what the CIA is up to, but like I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
the tension in this room. you can cut it with a knife.
Don't you like the scene where he's escaping prison? He's beating up all those guards, and Dr. Fate's going on this huge speech about the world doesn't need another white knight. Sometimes they need someone a little darker. And then he's like escaping that underwater prison.
And then he drowns.
And then right after Dr. Fate dies, and it's like there's still one hope. And then like you see Black Adam floating in the water like a dead goldfish.
See, Eric, this is why I can't. This is why when you're like, I like Black Adam, I think it was good. You describe one of the dumbest scenes.
It was funny because they shot right back to
You
him
like
dead in
this
the
movie
water.
because it's bad.
No, it's funny.
Because it's bad.
Like when what were we talking about? When Dr. Fate's like,
I'm not that kind
bring
of
back one
doctor."
of our prisoners. Well, I can break its mind and get information. And then Black Adam's like, well,
It's a funny gag. It's a funny.
you killed him, didn't you?
That's a funny gag, but the fact that Black Adam turned and looked and watched him fall meant that he could have undone his decision and caught the dude and brought him back to Dr. Fate. But instead, for the sake of the gag in the movie,
He wouldn't make it.
He would have. Did you see how fast he was flying? He could have caught that dude.
He had to chase one of those bikes. He wasn't. Oh, never mind.
No, that was the end. He was like, I caught all the bikes. None of them had the kid in it. He could have caught that dude from falling. It was for the sake of the gag.
No, he couldn't. I don't.
Yes, he could have. Dude, he flew faster than the speed of sound.
He
He
didn't flew
turned. He turned before that guy even came into the frame. He knew where he was going to
Yeah,
fall.
but then it wouldn't be funny.
They want it to be funny. They wanted to make the gag. They wanted to be like, oh, haha.
And you laughed. I did.
Yeah, because it's the same laugh that I did during just Suicide Squad when the fucking classified file fell out of the third helicopter crash. I was laughing because I'm like, this is ridiculous and in no way should be what the scenario is. Who wrote this?
I don't think it's that big of a deal, but I can see how that can be
Look,
distracting.
man, I don't have that strong of feelings about this movie. I just don't think it's a good movie. And I hate the fact that I have watched it 3 times. First time on purpose. Second time on purpose. It was because I was hanging out with my roommates and they were like, let's put on a movie. And we put on a good movie, but then we weren't paying attention. So I was like, guys, this movie's really good, but you got to pay attention to it. And they were like, then we should save it for later. So then we put on Black Adam.
So a movie you don't pay attention to.
Because it was bad. We don't need to pay attention to it.
So you don't have paying attention to it.
No,
'Cause
because you don't need to pay attention to that movie. Because that movie will explain to you what's going on in any given circumstance.
Huh?
That movie explains.
Don't pay attention because
because you can key in at any moment and be like, oh yeah, he's still doing the funny, haha. He doesn't understand mirrors,
And then
but he
you zoom
understands
out and
how
you don't pay attention to
He
the other
understands how to
stuff.
use grenades, but he doesn't understand what a mirror is. I get it.
then you zone out. You don't pay attention to the
I
other
zone
stuff.
out and I'm like, oh look, he doesn't know what a TV is, and he's watching a western. Oh, haha.
Okay, that was
oh,
a very
he blew it
cringy
up.
scene.
And then
That
2
was
minutes
a
later,
very-
you look
there
back
are-
and you're like, oh look, he's referencing the fact that he saw 10 seconds of a western film
Yeah.
earlier in the movie.
Add that to the list of,
funny rock moment.
Top 10 scenes in Black Adam that was super cringe.
and then you-
the
and then
one where
you-
the cowboys.
You look
That's so
at-
stupid. He was shooting at him with the machine gun, right? And then he runs out of ammo, so he drops the gun, and then he has his hand over his pistol.
Yeah.
Like that's gonna do work on Black Adam. What was the point of that stare
There you
down?
go.
That was the
Look,
worst scene
there
in
you
Black
go.
Adam.
No, there's a
My-
lot of scenes like that.
There is a lot of scenes, but that one was the
80%
worst.
Of Black Adam is those scenes.
No, I'll say
remember when he was
65%
chasing that
was
motor.
cringe.
Remember when he was chasing that like hypersonic super speed motorbike across continents to try and save this kid.
Cross conduct.
And no, because they end up in China.
They did. Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
right,
no, they were
you're
going
right.
faster than the speed of sound, Eric. They're going to end up in a different country.
No, yeah, you're right. I saw it.
So he crashes it to save the boy who's in the trunk, essentially, of that vehicle. If the kid was in that thing, he'd be dead. He would have died.
Yeah, but he did.
He would have been turned into jelly.
Well, like you ever?
Yeah, but he
it's made, no, no,
didn't?
it's made
Is
out.
your
It's made
excuse?
out. It's made out of the same material as the Indiana Jones refrigerator in the 4th movie. That's how he survived.
Okay, look, when you're defending a movie with Crystal Skull logic, you have to admit that you're defending a bad movie. You just defended. You're like, this movie's bad, but also this movie was bad too.
First of all, therefore, Crystal Skull wasn't bad. Just because Shia LaBeouf was in Crystal Skull does not make it a bad movie.
Shia LaBeouf was fine in Crystal Skull. That wasn't the problem with Crystal Skull.
You hate Shia LaBeouf. Just admit it.
I don't hate Shia LaBeouf. I'm afraid of him. I'm scared of him, dude.
Oh man,
dude scares me. Don't even say his name.
Another thing I just like about that movie is that it's just a movie about the anti-hero. So this guy just kills people, and it's funny. These other superheroes who are like our classic DC heroes who don't kill.
Eric, have you seen Hancock?
Hancock?
Yeah.
No. Can I watch it?
You should watch it because what you're describing, the best part what you're describing as the best part of Black Adam is the best part of Hancock. Because he's a superhero who just murders people. And then
that's awesome.
And then there's this guy, because he has a terrible public image, there's this guy who comes along and is like, maybe if you were like more of like an actual hero, people wouldn't fucking hate you so much. And then he's like, I guess. And then like the rest of the movie is this dude like babysitting him.
Is it a good movie?
It's a great movie. Go watch Hancock, dude.
All right, then.
It's Will Smith.
Yeah. I mean, he was Deadshot.
He was Deadshot. I liked his Deadshot.
I also like the scenes where like the little kid is like excited about a superhero in his nation while the superhero doesn't want to be a hero, but he kind of gets into it. He's like, "Hey man, you should have like a catchphrase like tell it to the Men in Black," which is like, what the fuck does that mean? But it's just stupid.
Tell them the Men in Black sent you.
And I like how Black Adam's like, what the fuck? But then later on when he saves the kid, he kills all these guys and he looks at the kid. Tell it to the Men in Black.
Tell them the Men in Black sent you.
He's like, that's cool, but make sure you say it before you kill them. And then later on the scene when he's chasing those bikes and he has a guy, he's holding him.
He drops him.
The guy's like, put me down. And then Black Adam's like, you should choose your words wisely. So he's like, oh, so he's getting the whole like
he's getting quips.
He's getting quips down,
yeah.
But then he drops him and goes,
still
tell to the Men in Black.
Time with what mirrors are though.
He drops the guy and goes, tell to the Men in Black. And so he still hasn't gotten it down, but it's funny.
What is the phrase?
Tell it to the Men in Black, something like that.
No, it's tell them
the Men in Black
that the Man in Black sent you.
Or send you. It's so dumb and silly.
It's too long. That's why he can't get it.
That's why it's funny because of course a dumb kid like that would say like, so you gotta say something cool.
That's the other thing. That kid's dumb and I hate him, and he has almost as much screen, if not more screen time than Black Adam himself.
That's another thing. You got these thugs, these mercenary thugs chasing a kid, and they don't want to shoot him. If this was a real,
they can't shoot him, dude. This is Camp Lamplight rules.
Camp Lamplight.
From Fallout.
Oh, Fallout, dude, that's a stupid fucking place too. I hate that. You're gonna get me on I'm a big Fallout guy, by the way. Don't get me started on that shitty lore.
Don't you get me started on Fallout shitty lore.
Don't get me on Fallout lore though. Why is there
I'm gonna start talking about the Gek.
Why is there a fucking city of kids? Like, where do the kids come from? You can't have a population.
Well, see, Eric, when a man and a woman love each other very much.
Yeah, but it's a whole city of kids. Where do they get more kids?
That's a good question.
Because it's supposed to be a city that's been around for like 200 years. A city of kids. So, and also that area, if you go back and play that game, that area where that little lamplight is,
rules.
There's like super mutants everywhere around that area. So how the fuck are these kids surviving this long? Or how do you get people over there?
Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't get you on your Fallout soapbox.
Anyway, let's go back to Black Adam
soapbox. Stop trying to talk to me about Black Adam. I'm done with that movie.
We'll talk about.
There's no reason for me to ever entertain a thought about that movie ever again. I've watched it 3 times. I hate it.
It's gonna be a 4th time.
No, it better not be. But this, I feel like if you guys are still here and you're still listening, listen to episode 1.
I think we kind of
it'll be a little more coherent, but yeah, we'll go on tangents like that about stuff.
All right, topic number 2.
Topic number. No, it's A1.3.
All right,
priority B.
You think this is a little too long for an episode?
No, I think this is great. I think if you enjoyed this, leave a review, leave a comment, share it with your friends.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Yep.
Take the next bus to Planet Zero.
We are currently working on an Amtrak and a Greyhound. to be able to make it out here.
Yeah.
Space
And
travel
if you
for
do
those
get here
vehicles
and you
kind of
see
get
a weird
weird.
creature handing out candy,
Run away from that thing.
well, you can take the candy, but
Yeah.
don't stay around.
Don't eat the candy in front of him.
Yeah, I ate the candy. It's perfectly safe. Just don't eat it around him.
Yeah. But yeah, we're hoping to see you guys next time.
So
here
come back
on,
for more comics, come back for more manga, and come back for more Black Adam talk. Because this is the Black Adam podcast now.
I'm
Chris
not going
is
to
gonna
dignify that with a response.
Yeah, he just looked at me, but
Well, I can't say that I'm angry at you. I can't
Right.
say that I'm disappointed.
we're okay. I'm bringing this back next time.
No.
Black Adam.
No.
We're going to talk about this some more,
No.
even outside the podcast.
All right. Well, from Planet Zero,
From Planet Zero.
Christian and Eric signing off.
All right, bye.